Hello, today I have a Gravitas pen for you. This is the Gravitas Grade 5 Titanium. I will launch straight into this one after clearing that horrendous frog out of my throat. So we have Gravitas logo here engraved into the cap, and we have a machined edge on the reverse of the cap there, and we have the pointed finials at each end, and obviously the nice titanium silver coloured finish. Cap unscrews in one turn, which is nice and efficient. This actually comes with a Jinhao number 8 sized nib, also seen on their X159 model. For those not familiar with Gravitas, this is company of Ben Walsh, independent pen maker from Ireland. So he decided to try out number 8 nibs on this model pen. I think he does this in a pocket version as well with a number 8 nib, I believe. 95% sure on that one. So yeah, he's sourced the nibs from Jinhao and fitted those to his pens, or this model of pen at any rate. This one is a fine. I believe at the time, certainly the time I bought this, Jinhao only did the number 8s in a fine and an extra fine. And there's a plastic feed. I believe it's... I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it's a screw-in nib unit, but I think it is. I think it is on the X159. I've not actually tried to pull this myself, but at any rate, you would be able to pull that out of a screw-in nib unit if you wanted to, try and stick your own number 8 nib in there. Cartridge converter pen, converter included. A few less barrel threads there actually than you usually get from a Gravitas. That comes off reasonably quickly. And you've got on the section kind of machined grooves there to aid the grip. It's just a slightly more matte kind of finish on there, but that aids the grip. And the section, as you can see, tapers in a touch and then flares back out towards the nib. Threads are not sharp. Very comfortable if you've got your fingers on there. There's a tiny little step down just onto the threads off the barrel, and as you can see, the barrel itself starts off thicker up here and then tapers down to the end where you've got your pointed finial. Does post deeply, as most Gravitas models do. Although titanium is very strong, you can be prone to a few micro scratches there. So if you're going to be posting that a lot, you can see almost a bit of a post line developing along there. A few micro scratches. So doesn't really bother me if you like a bit of character developing in your pen with use. Obviously a strong material, you can bang that around and it's going to be fine like that. But you might get a bit of scratch and character developing on your finish. The machined kind of roll stop on the back of the cap there. So Gravitas pens don't tend to do clips, but you do have that there if you're going to pop that down on your desk. Will it stop it rolling away? Not if you do that. But you can place that and it's going to be fine. I will just point out, I've only just noticed it, to be honest. If you, let me zoom that in a little bit there. So if you put that on the roll stop, that Gravitas logo doesn't quite point straight up. So if that's going to bug you, just something to be aware of. It's a special kind of nitpicking there, but you know, it is what it is. Should we look at some measurements? Measurements of the pen. These are all approximate. So you've got capped, uncapped, and posted. It's a nice deep post. If that is something which you'd like to think about. So that does post nice and deeply and sits very well in the hand. I mentioned before I'm not a serial poster, but I do find Gravitas are pens that I do like to post sometimes, depending on the circumstance. For that reason, weight in grams, capped, uncapped, and cap. There's barely any ink left in this, so that's going to be nearly an uninked measurement. I hope I've got enough for a writing sample there. The barrel starts off about 13 and then tapering down to 9 at the end there, and the section is about 10, just coming down, 11, just coming down to your pinch, about 10, and then flaring back out again. Couple of size comparisons. I will start off with a couple of other Gravitas models. Here you have an entry and a century, and as you can see, the titanium is just somewhere in between the two. It's a little bit thicker, girthier than the entry, and a little bit less so than the century, and a little bit shorter there as well. So some non-Gravitas pens. Here we have the Gravitas Titanium next to the usual stock Lamy Safari, from my daughter's stock in this occasion, an Asfine P30, Twisby Eco, Jinhao X159, and a Moonman P136. Let us see how it writes. See if I can control my zoom today. So as I mentioned, there's not a lot of ink left in this actually, so let's hope that I've got enough. I zoomed in a bit much there, potentially. Have I sorted my focus out? No, I have not. I do apologise. So we have the Gravitas Titanium. It's grade 5 titanium with a fine steel nib. Just to be clear, the titanium's the pen, not the nib. Nib is a steel number 8 Jinhao nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Syrah. Paper is Clairefontaine 90 GSM, just before I forget, like I usually do. It's very nice, smooth performance with a decent flow. Let's just try it a bit quicker. No problem keeping up there at all. Wetness, very nicely wet, good flow. through that nice big feed there, and it is really, really nicely smooth, very nicely tuned. I believe Ben tunes or checks at the very least all his nibs himself, which is going to send out, including the ones that he got from Jinhao. So it's a good performer. Any line variation, you can get a bit actually. It's pretty stiff, but you can squeeze a bit out there. It's very good flow on this one as well. So, I mean, it's not the finest fine. I forgot to put my loop on this, so I do apologise. It's not the finest fine in the world, but it is a decent flow, which does help just beef that up a little bit, but you can get a little bit of variation out of there. Any reverse? Yep, you can get a bit out of that. It does keep going a bit. Bit scratchy, not unbelievably so. If that's your thing, you can get a bit out of that. Overall, a very pleasant writing experience. Thankfully that held out ink-wise towards the end of that, so that can go in the cleaning tray near enough when I'm done. So what do I think of this pen? Let me sort my life out. It's a good pen. I do like Gravitas pens. I find them a good size, weight. I mean, they do a variety of size and weights, but the ones I talk about here, the Entry, the Century, this one, they're a really good size in the hand. That is a nice swift uncap post if you're out and about. That is a very handy and quick operation. I like the section, I like the little flare, I like the machine grooved. It's very nice. Good nib performance on that Jinhao nib. If you wanted to check out what that might write like, obviously not tuned by Ben Walsh, but straight from Jinhao, you could grab yourself an X159. I have found that they perform pretty well, and you can always give it a tune yourself if you get one, which is a little below par. Good tough material, titanium, so you can bang that around and that's not going to damage your pen. You've got it's good protection for your nib and whatnot. As I mentioned, prone to micro scratching if that bothers you, but you could always be very careful or polish it up. And you should be okay. You've got roll stop there, which is nice. If you're really nitpicky, yeah, it doesn't quite sit bang upright with that logo, but it's hardly a deal breaker. And also, this has been sat in my pen tray actually before I picked this up to review, and that writing sample was the first I'd written with it in probably 2 or 3 weeks. So there's a great cap seal on there, and the nib is not prone to drying up. There's not a lot I don't like about this actually. It's just a very well put together, functional fountain pen, nice big nib. So, you know, that's fine to use unposted. I tend to gravitate to that posted just because it's nice and deep. It doesn't back weight at all. It's just like a really nice bit of heft in the hand there. It's not the heaviest pen in the world, but it's certainly not the lightest. There's a good weight in the hand, very comfortable section, and you've got that bigger nib. So that works really well with my writing angle and style. These are available from Gravitas Pens. I'll pop a link in the description below. Yeah, down there. Be down there somewhere. These go for around about the 100 and I want to say €110 mark, being of the Irish euros. So whatever equivalent that might be for you. there or thereabouts. Don't quote me on it, but it's in that area. So not a bad all-round package at all, and I'm very happy with it. Thank you for watching. If you've kept watching, I thank you. Have a lovely day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.